Welcome to another fantastic episode, a tired episode of the weekly wrap with Vachon and Rapp. And I am Frank Rapp,
And I'm Matt Vachon.
and I'm tired, and I am on no sleep. I am watching the cock on television, and life is good. How's Matt
Yeah.
this morning?
Good because I'm not a Cubs fan.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess we'll get into that right off. So there was 10 All-Stars traded at the baseball trading deadline. The
Yeah.
most All-Star players traded ever at an All-Star break. This was the most activity in an All-Star break that I can ever remember, and I'm
Yeah.
39 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. It was insane this year.
Basically, yeah, the All-Star, I mean, the trade deadline for baseball usually doesn't mean anything.
No.
Same thing with football, it's the same thing, but basketball, it's usually like flurries of stuff. I've never seen it this bad in baseball ever.
Yeah. 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 Because usually you have uh, one team will dump like one or two guys, and that's kind of like, it. But yeah, this was just like, it was nuts.
Well, a crazy stat that I read, the Cubs basically rebuilt their team in 2 hours,
Yeah.
gutted their team that they had, and then rebuilt it in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
And in probably, I'll say 4 to 5 years, the Cubs are going to win a World Series.
Think so?
Yes. With the prospects they got back and all the
Yeah.
deals, they totally have rebuilt their team.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in Chicago going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, I mean, most of us have been fans of a team at some point where they've had to do the rebuild, and it's no fun at first, but you know it gets better.
Well, the Red Sox struck out.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
in on Scherzer supposedly, and then he was going to the Padres, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden the Dodgers swept in and said, "Oh no, we'll take him off your hands
Yeah.
instead."
Yeah. Because
The
we're the
rich get
Dodgers.
richer. The rich get richer, man. Like for
Yeah.
real.
Because we needed Trey Turner and Max Scherzer. So.
Yeah, on an already loaded team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what reports came out this week, or was it last week, that the players don't want Bauer back?
Oh, really?
So
Yeah, I
this
didn't see
this
that.
is
But
probably
yeah.
this is insurance for Bauer,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. So,
right?
but really, and it was like, they get Scherzer and Turner, and they didn't have to give up like any of like their major, like everyone was like, well, in order to get this, Gavin Lux is gonna have to go, and he
Right.
didn't go.
Didn't go.
So, but yeah, so I mean that was good, and then there was a period too where it was like, well, now they were in for Chris Bryant too, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I was like. But he ended up going to San Francisco. But it was like, Jesus Christ, like Chris Bryant too. Like,
Yeah,
settle down, Dodgers. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah. And then the Red Sox went on Rizzo, and then Rizzo went to the Yankees.
yeah, who's hit 2 home runs?
That's it, 2 home runs
Who's
in
hit
two
home runs
games.
both? So
And
yeah,
the Yankees got Joey Gallo from Texas. So
yeah, they did really well. The Yankees did well. They needed that left-handed power, and they got 2 left-handed power bats, and yeah, yeah. I thought that. I mean, as a Yankees fan, I mean, you can speak on it probably better than I, but I thought it was a pretty good day for them. So
yeah,
2 days.
I mean, it's just like everybody else. I mean, it's the same thing. It's starting pitching. I mean, we're so up and down and inconsistent when it comes to starting pitching. And so, I mean, we really didn't address that need. But I mean, they weren't going to go out and pay what the Dodgers paid for Scherzer, I don't think.
Yeah.
So,
No.
even though they could afford it, but they didn't. I mean, I thought if the Red Sox got Scherzer, I mean, they would have
Yeah.
had a hell of a
I
1-2
think
punch with Scherzer and Sale, because Sale's supposed to be back in the rotation at some point here. So,
yeah. Yeah, within the next couple weeks or so. I think if Dave Dombrowski was still the GM, I think they probably would have ended up with Scherzer, just because like Dombrowski was always his mindset was win now. Who gives a shit about prospects? So he like gutted our like minor league system when he was here, but he brought in like Chris Sale and a few other people.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Was JD Martinez a free agent signing?
yeah, I think so. Um, yeah, I think so. But because that was always his mentality was just he did it in Detroit, like to win, clear out your minor leagues for no talent, which is great for a year or two, but long term it sucks. So whereas like Bloom is the complete opposite. His is rebuild the farm system and win from within. So
Well, he also came from Tampa Bay too, so
yeah,
and they
yeah,
usually don't have shit. So
yeah,
they traded for Nelson Cruz. I mean,
yeah.
that's just like
Okay, yeah,
and then the Mets got Javi Baez. I couldn't believe that trade.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that their middle infield now is set.
yeah, yeah.
Baez
So
and friggin' Lindor, like for
yeah,
real.
yeah.
I
So
mean, but the Cubs had to do something because all these guys were free agents. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean I get it, and it's tough to watch if you
well,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah, especially when your closer goes from Chicago to Chicago. It's just hilarious.
yeah,
And they said
uh,
they haven't made a trade. They haven't made a trade like that in years
yeah,
because they don't trade. They never trade with each other.
yeah,
Like one of their first trades they've had in I think maybe 30 years, maybe 40 years.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Apparently, everyone that said the White Sox weren't going to do shit are kind of counting saying some crow right now.
yeah, for sure.
You have 100-year-old Tony La Russa who can't, who likes to drink and drive, is still your manager. So
Yeah, yeah.
you
Well,
know,
because that's all drinking and driving is old school baseball. You
yeah,
can't if you do anything, um, you know what he was all mad because that guy hit a home run when they had the lead or whatever. Um,
yeah.
Catcher there, because it was against the unspoken rules of baseball. But one of the other unspoken rules of baseball is you can drink and drive as much as you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever. I mean, he's the
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
What else? The Yankees have won 2 in a row.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean Gallo. I don't know what Gallo's done, but I know.
Anything.
Yeah, I think. But Rizzo, obviously, been there 2 games and he's homered in 2 games. So
Well, and they also haven't played in that little league park called Yankee Stadium yet. So
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, that's
We'll see when they go home and see how well they do. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Rizzo's hitting bombs in Miami. I mean, if he's hitting bombs in Miami, he's gonna hit some bombs in that little league park
yeah,
called Yankee
yeah,
Stadium. So, which is what 319 down right field.
yeah, yeah,
Well, old Yankee Stadium that was the same way too, though.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't say anything about short right field. So
No, you could not. No, no. Yes, the Red Sox. I mean, they made a move and they got 2 pitchers with +5 ERAs, and then they got Kyle
yeah,
Schwarber, who's
yeah,
injured.
yeah, and Schwarber, granted he's had a great season so far, like home run wise, but like Schwarber is always streaky. Like, it's like he's having his best season to date, but he's a guy that I've always liked, and so I get him on my fantasy teams pretty often because, I can always get him in like one of the later rounds because nobody wants him.
No,
And but that's the thing. He'll go on a tear, really. He'll hit a bunch of home runs, but then he's also like he'll go 0 for 4 for 2 games straight or
2
stuff like
games or
that.
2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get the guy who was hitting all those bombs. I think he'll have some power, obviously, but I'm not expecting that guy to come in and hit all those home runs consistently like he was doing pre-injury.
No, and you're coming off a grade 3 tear of your fucking hamstring.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not going to play the field.
No, no.
So what do you do with Martinez?
Yeah.
Because he can't play first base.
Right.
I mean, he can try, but he's not very good.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't know. It was kind
of and they won't put Schwarber at first base because how many games do you think Schwarber's played at first base in his whole life?
0.
One.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not a Red Sox fan, but I watch a lot of Boston sports radio because that's what I do now. Their glaring need was starting pitching, and a first baseman, and they got none.
Yeah.
They got a DH coming off a bad hamstring tear, and they got two pitchers with plus ERAs over 5.
Yeah.
So I can see why the fan base would be pissed because they're in a spot now where they didn't expect to be in. No one expected them to be this good this year. Like, there's no way. Like, nobody thought they were going to be this good.
No.
I get you don't want to I get you don't want to totally go through the farm system and totally get rid of everybody for people that won't be here very long. I totally get that. But if you have a chance to win now, you need to you need to do something more than just Kyle Schwarber and 2 pitchers that aren't very good.
Yeah.
I mean, think if they would add a Schwarber and maybe a Chris Bryant.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Or maybe like a Schwarber and that pitcher from Minnesota, I forget his name, that went somewhere.
Barrios.
Yeah. Imagine if they could have got Barrios.
Yeah.
That would have been a help.
Yeah. Yeah. And they were in on him for a little bit, and then, nothing. So I don't know. And then, the other thing is they for one of those relief pitchers with the high ERA, they traded Michael Chavis, who, not having a great season, but he was a guy that people liked. They've kind of soured on him this year, but because of his lack of production. But still, he's one of those young players that came up and had a nickname, the Ice Horse, and just a good kid. And they traded him to Pittsburgh. So, so that's kind of they traded him for, and Chavis could play first base, so it's like they traded, but they got Dahlbeck playing first, who also isn't hitting anything right now either. So,
and then Franchi Cordero, he can't hit either.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So we'll get off the Red Sox talk for a second. So we'll talk about the Bruins here for a second.
Yeah.
Krejci, huh? Going back to Czech, the Czech Republic or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to have known that was his decision before free agency started, because they wouldn't have signed all those players.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure.
And they signed that goalie from Buffalo.
Yeah.
And gave him $5 million a year.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. All right. So then Tuca will go away. And then Sweeney's then Sweeney's like, well, he can come back if he wants. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You got Swayman, who's looked good.
Yeah. They want to put Swayman back in the minors, and then and I'm like, why?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand. But I think Rask is done. People kind of soured on him after last season, and he was pretty inconsistent last year. So,
well, people got pissed off at him too that he left in the bubble.
Yeah.
People were pissed, and
dude,
you have a family thing.
Yeah.
See you later.
That's the thing. I like the Bruins. Okay, I'm not a Bruin. They're not my favorite, but But it's like, it's like the majority of people I know are Bruins fans. So, but so I was just like, at first I was like, well, what the fuck? But then when they said it was a family issue and it was like his kid was sick or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, I get it too, with everything going on. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go home with your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, they laid an egg in the playoffs. I mean, they were a better team than the
Yeah.
Islanders, and they should have never
Yes.
have lost
Oh
that
yeah.
series. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of that was defense and goaltending.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, their defensive front of Rask was horrendous that series. And then Rask did not play well whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they signed a 28-year-old goalie from Buffalo, gave him
Yeah.
$5 million a year, and then left it open-ended that Rask would come back.
Yeah.
When you have Swayman just hanging out there at like what, 23, 24?
Yeah.
So you're gonna keep him in the minors and then keep Rask up on the roster. No,
Yeah.
Swayman needs to be up.
Yeah.
And push this other guy that they gave all kinds of money to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you're paying a goalie $5 million a year, he's going to be your starter.
He's playing. Yeah.
He's playing.
Yeah.
Whether Swayman's there or not, you're paying someone $5 million a year to play goalie. He's playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and with Krejci going back to the Czech, I mean, they made a point where that season starts in the middle of September. So like in a month and 6 weeks from now, and then it would be over by the middle of March, and then he could come back and play in the playoffs. But he has to pass waivers first before that can happen, and there's no way he's passing waivers.
No,
so, if Krejci's going to come back here, it's going to be a miracle. But I don't see it happening. So, he wants his kids to learn the language.
Yeah,
but his wife's from America, so I don't know how long they're going to be there.
Oh no, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've seen it happen before in some of those guys. They like you see it more with like the Russian players. They go back and play in the KHL and then they come back after a few years. Like, like Alexander Radulov did that. I can't remember. There was another big name guy who did it a few years back too. But yeah, so they'll go to Russia for a little bit and come back. But it's the first I've heard of someone from like the Czech Republic doing it.
Yeah, me too.
Has to be, I get, the KHL in Russia has a bit more money than the Czech league, I'd assume. So it's like, so maybe he's made enough money. He can live like a king over there. And
probably, I mean, what's over there?
Yeah.
Did you see this? San Jose Sharks, Evander Kane denies wife's allegations that he bet on NHL games and his own games.
Yeah. That's the Pete Rose situation all over again. Well, not a coach, but still, it's that's never good. So
no, that's never good. And if that's true, it's not going to be good for the league. You have a team in Vegas.
Yeah.
You have sports betting now legal in a bunch of different states.
Yeah.
And a bunch of different states that these teams are in. Yeah, this is going to be a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
And and all the haters are going to say, oh, well, they never should have legalized it, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah. People, you don't understand. I think it was December of 20, New Jersey made New York, one of them made like $1 billion that month and just
yeah.
So shut up, fuck you. Like it's
exactly
it helps these states come to fuck on. So
yeah. Well, the other thing is, if I'm him, my wife just put me on blast on the internet. I mean, I'm sure this is a soon-to-be ex-wife situation, not a long-term thing. But I
would hope so.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see how that shakes out. But
did you see that Alexander Ovechkin signed a 5-year, $47 million deal?
No, I didn't.
In Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find how much that is per year. Let me see. I had it and then it went away. contracts right here. Hold on.
Yeah.
So this coming year, his base salary is going to be $1 million, but then he gets an incentive of $4 million.
Yeah.
And then next year it's 1 million 1 million signing bonus, and he gets 9 million. And when he's 38 years old, he gets a signing bonus of $1 million and makes 11.5. When he's 39, he gets a $5 million signing bonus and makes $6 million. And then when he's 40, he gets a $5 million signing bonus and makes $4 million. So his last 2 years of his contract, he makes just as much money as he does as a signing bonus as he does in the plays.
Yeah. Damn.
And he could surpass Gretzky as the all-time leading scorer in the NHL too.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. If he keeps the pace or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Who do you root? You're a Flyer?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't mind the Bruins, honestly.
Yeah.
Flyers they're okay. They're not I don't really follow them, but I think I follow the Bruins more than anybody for hockey.
Yeah. It's just easier.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and I'm not, and I'm not really a Celtics fan either. Like, I'm a Sixers fan, and I'm always an Eagles fan, and I'm always gonna like the Phillies, and I'm always gonna like the Yankees and the Red Sox. I mean, it's cool to go to Fenway, but I'm not.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But this is the most hockey talk we've ever talked on this fucking podcast.
Yeah.
So the NBA free agency starts today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Kawhi could opt out.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be interesting the next few days.
Hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could opt out, and if he opts out, Miami and Dallas are going hard after him.
Yeah. I'd love to see him go to Dallas, but I mean, are they giving a timetable for how long he's going to be out? Is this going to be a Durant situation where he's out?
I don't know if he's out. I don't know if he's back mid-year because it was a partial tear. It wasn't the full thing.
Oh, okay.
So is he going to be out? Will he be back? And they haven't said because he's nothing with Kawhi ever gets out. So you have no idea.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, do you leave the Clippers and say fuck off after 2 years and then go get more money?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think that's probably the best situation for him is to stay right there. But
Miami declined Goran Dragic's $19 million player exempt or whatever that is option yesterday.
Yeah.
So there's $19 million free in cap space right there.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
go play with Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
Well, we got Westbrook and the Lakers now, so I mean,
yeah, which is I saw a pretty good meme of just like it's like Westbrook for free, and then it was LeBron and Anthony Davis there, but for faces they had like the Stephen A. Smith face, like unimpressive. But I think I like it for they gave up kind of a lot, but not really that much.
They did not give up anything for him. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Harold doesn't have much left. Okay.
Yeah, not him, but yeah, and I always just like Kuzma, even though he's a
lot of people like Kuzma, but Kuzma went here, and then when LeBron came, he went boom.
Yeah.
Okay. When you offer Kuzma and KCP to everybody in the league, and then finally someone bites. Oh, here's Westbrook. Here you go.
Yeah. No, I mean it's still like better for the Lakers to get Westbrook, but it gives them another option, and he's probably the most dynamic point guard in the league, like all around. So with the exception of
shoot.
Yeah.
You can't shoot.
Yeah. Well, I know, but when you shoot 50 times a game, you're gonna hit some of those.
No. All right. So, okay. Here is Russell Westbrook's base salary for this coming year. Okay. He's 32. He makes $44 million this year.
Holy fuck.
Okay. Then next year, when he's 33, he makes 47. Suck on that, Lakers fans.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So your top three guys, LeBron, AD, and Westbrook, that's your entire fucking salary cap right there.
Holy fuck. That's insane. And they might bring in Carmelo Anthony too.
Yeah, I saw that. Kuzma, Harold, and KCP make a total of $36 million. Doesn't even cover what Westbrook makes.
Yeah.
By himself.
That's
Yeah, you're speechless, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I knew he'd have a high number, but I guess I don't know.
Yeah. So they want to bring in supposedly Carmelo.
Yeah.
Apparently Rudy Gay wants to play there.
Yeah.
And then maybe DeMar Rosen wants to go there too.
Yeah.
And then they'll get a couple other people.
Yeah.
So
damn.
Well, Chris Paul has a player option, right?
Yep.
For like $40-something million.
Yeah.
If he resigns or they sign him to an extension, he could get a three-year $90 million deal.
Yeah.
And he had a shitty finals.
Yeah.
He had a really shitty finals. So
yeah. Man.
I mean, did you see the draft at all?
Yeah, I watched until I fell asleep.
So Golden State got lucky.
Yeah.
Dude, those two kids they got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna like, and they didn't trade them yet. If they hang on to them, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, it's so weird now, these drafts and everything, because everyone's either like they're playing in the G League or they'll play overseas or they play 1 year of college. So it's like the sample size for these guys, it's not like it used to be where, you could watch these guys for 2, 3, 4 years and get a good feel. Like, so these guys, I'm like, I don't really know any of these guys other than like the highlights I've seen and, things like that. But, there was a lot of talk before the draft that this was like going to be one of like the strongest drafts in a long time. So I'm just curious to see like how half these kids shake out. You won't really know for 2 to 3 years, but because rarely does any rookie come in the NBA and make a huge impact. So
no, and the fact that the Sixers think Ben Simmons is worth fucking 2 sacks of marbles and fucking $3 bills. Like when Golden State offers you Wiseman, Wiggins, somebody else, and a pick.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we want 3 first-round picks.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I was like, on what fucking play? Like, I get it.
I get it too. But what planet is that? Is Ben Simmons worth 3 first-round picks plus like 3 players?
Yeah. Yeah. Not this one.
No. Maybe he's worth that much in Space Jam too. But not in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
But think about it though. Like, okay, let's say the Warriors would have done that original trade, or Sixers would have.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons in Golden State makes them scary because he's such a good facilitator.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to shoot. So, especially with Clay coming back, and like he doesn't need to shoot. So,
no. And Clay's been out for 2 years, so we'll see what kind of Clay we get.
Yeah, true.
Clay's 31 now, coming off an Achilles and an ACL.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Curry's 31, 32.
But when you just park at the 3-point line and shoot, like you don't need like you know.
No, but Clay was their best defender though, besides Green though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, and and that's not. I mean, I don't see him being their best defender anymore.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, I was kind of
someone made a good point. Like they should trade Draymond and a first round pick for Simmons and see what this Philly says.
yeah. You probably say no.
As a Sixer fan, I'm like, I don't want Draymond Green.
Yeah. yeah.
I don't even want Ben Simmons, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot Van Dam was on this Raw. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
What year is it?
97. He fought a young Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I don't want Ben Simmons as a Sixer fan.
Yeah.
But what do you do with him? Like, is his market? Are they asking too much? Like,
what's his contract look like? How many years?
Let's see. I'll look.
Because it's like, do you give him a season to try to redeem himself to get some value, or if he's gone after next year, like,
wow,
what do you got?
Wow, he makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. For he'll be 25 this year. He makes $33 million.
Yeah.
By the time he's 28, when his contract's over, his last year of his contract, he will make over $40 million.
Yeah.
And that's when he's 28. He's only 25.
Yeah. Yeah, I think his playoffs were so bad that I think his market value is kind of shit right now for what the Sixers want to give up. So, or what the Sixers are looking for, I should say. So it's almost like, yeah, nobody's going to bite on that. So either take what you can get now, or you give him a season to try to redeem himself and get some value, and then, possibly move on from him. But I just think his playoffs were so bad. Like, I think his market value is just complete crap.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. For that kind of money,
Yeah, for $33 million a year, you better be taking more than, I think he took 4 shots in the fourth quarter in the whole 7-game series against Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah. But he can pass and rebound. Who can? So can a lot of other people.
I can pass a rebound too.
Yeah.
I do it all the time in 2K. All right. So it's going to be very interesting next week with the NBA.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we'll get into a little bit of football talk before we get into the wrestling talk at the end. Aaron Rodgers is back.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers had a hell of a press conference.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers went from the most hated person in Green Bay to the most likable person in Green Bay in a whole 24-hour span.
Yeah. Yeah.
They traded Randall Cobb back.
Yeah.
Who basically said Houston was like getting out of jail.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that Randall Cobb knows what jail's like. So I mean, Rodgers says he's all in. He's 100% all in.
Yeah.
He's gone after he's done this year. He's done.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they reworked his contract so that he could jet after this year.
They can talk. What I think he has one more year left, and then he's a free agent the following year. So in 2 years, but he's good. This is his last. This will be a swan song in Green Bay. He will get traded in the offseason next year.
Yeah.
For 3 bags of marbles and a roll of quarters.
For Ben Simmons. Yeah. I thought it was awesome. I not even like a big Packers or Rodgers. I think he's a great quarterback, obviously, but yeah, I love that. I love press conferences where people are honest, because there's some, especially in football, it's all, just go out there, give it 110%, take it one day at a time. Well, it's the same shit all the time. So like I like it when guys like answer questions honestly, and he's at he's earned enough respect, and he's been there a long time that he can basically say, yeah, management dropped the ball on a lot of things and they kind of suck, and it's like he's like, yeah, whatever, what are you gonna do to me? So
Well, when he's naming all the people that they've let go in his press conference, I was
yeah,
like,
yeah, and not treat the way they
the
treat
way they treated
people.
people on the way out, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I was like, man, this sounds awfully familiar. I wonder if I should do that on the first day of school.
Yeah.
If I did that, I'd get sued by somebody. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we do. We just,
Yeah.
sue happy.
Yeah.
So, should change the name of the place where I work from where it is to Sueville.
Yeah.
I should make a shirt that says Sueville and wear it around on the first day of school. Everybody comes back.
Sueville High School.
Yeah, Sueville, and then put Jim Cornette's lawyer on the back of it. What's his name there? The law offices of what is it? PN? What is it? P? Whatever it is. So yeah, it's funny. But no, I'm just kidding. No, not really. But yeah, no, it's cool to see Rodgers back. I mean, I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers, but you're not going to beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
With this whole team back, I don't, unless someone gets on an absolute roll in like the last 6 games of a 18-week regular season now.
Yeah.
For 7, what's that? Yeah, 18. Yeah, because there's 17 games.
17 games.
You're not going to beat Tampa Bay. Sorry.
No.
And if Brady goes back to back, Brady should just be like, okay, cool, see ya.
I mean, the best that they can hope for is a Tom Brady knee injury now that he's not going to wear his knee sleeve anymore.
Yeah, no shit.
He's worn that brace since the knee injury.
Since 09. No, 10, right? 10.
He wore it when he came back. He got injured in 08. He's been wearing it since 09 when he came back.
Yeah.
So so that's kind of crazy. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like, nah. He's like, it feels great. I don't need to wear it anymore. It's like, well, yeah, I guess the rules have changed. You're not allowed to hit people low, but still, you get, how many times you see an offensive lineman get pushed over and rolled up on,
A lot.
Yeah. So it's, it's kind of, so something else happens to that knee again. And I mean, Tampa Bay is not as good anymore.
No, Tampa Bay goes from the best team in the football to one of the worst teams of football.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you have Blaine Gabbert throwing you the ball. Good pity.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at least he's not in Philly anymore.
Yeah, right. Although there was like when they announced his injury, I think it was on ESPN, they still showed the Eagles logo.
Yeah, I saw. They're so stupid. I hate ESPN. Like, I fucking hate ESPN so much.
Yeah.
The only person on ESPN I like watching is Scott Van Pelt. Everybody else can go fucking suck a dick.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's he's that guy, it seems he's the injury prone guy.
He is. Now, he is, and they say
when he's healthy, but
I mean, at least there's 6 weeks till the regular season, so he's got 6 weeks to rest. They said it's something to do with like a bone and a ligament. So I don't know what he did. So I think he probably stepped on someone's foot and turned his ankle.
Yeah.
And that's going to linger all year.
Yeah.
Because you're better off breaking your ankle than you are spraining it. Because I've sprained both my ankles, and they were like, "Yeah, you just sort of broke it." I'm like, "Why?" They go, "This is never going to heal, right?" I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah. Cool.
Which it never does, because those tendons don't heal unless you have surgery.
And they're constantly, they're and they become weaker and more susceptible to being sprained again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm the Colts, I go after Nick Foles. I try to bring him in for insurance to work before. Just have him keep one-upping Carson Wentz his whole career.
Carson Wentz is like, I left to get away from this fucking asshole. Now he's back. No, they have Jacob Eason as their and then they got Sam Ellinger from Texas and they signed Brett Huntley yesterday.
Yeah.
Who last started a game in 2017.
Yeah.
When he was a backup for Green Bay when they were like, week 17 and Rodgers hangs out and doesn't do anything and Huntley gets
Yeah. Yeah.
So and Minnesota's quarterbacks are in COVID protocols.
Yeah.
So they had one healthy quarterback last night on their national televised practice on NFL Network, and it was fucking hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that because it was like, it was like some name I had never heard of, and it was like, he's the starting quarterback for I'm like, what?
Vikings fans hate Kirk Cousins though.
Oh yeah.
You go on Bleacher Report and look at the comments from I was like, oh man, these are bad.
Yeah,
they're not good, but it's okay.
And I think we talked about this maybe like a long time ago, but one of my favorite things from like last football season, like during like the quarantine, it was the Vikings had a thing where like a TikTok thing where it was like, have Kirk Cousins throw you a pass, and so half of them it's Kirk Cousins throwing, and then people add their own second half. I mean, it's supposed to be them like catching a touchdown, but instead all these people were like standing there with like the ball going over their head, and they're like, it was so great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So now we'll get into the real talk.
Yeah.
Lots of things happened this week in wrestling, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess we'll first start off with a bit of a surprise. You sent a message out and I clicked on it and it said WWE has released Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And I went, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think the entire internet was like, what the fuck? Because it was like, that came out, early afternoon or whatever.
Yeah.
And then still by like, the nighttime, Bray Wyatt was still like the number one trend on Twitter. Yeah. So everyone just being like, what the fuck? Like, we don't understand. And a lot of people just being like, yeah, well, one of the most creative minds like you've had, and you just.
So, all right. So I have some news.
Yeah.
Fightful Select has confirmed earlier updates that Wyatt had been set to return next month with creative plans in place. It also noted that a notification was sent to the talent of the WWE moments before the news actually broke online. And it also noted that it was a budget cut reason.
Yeah.
Wyatt's name had previously been brought up during a recent round of cuts. Multiple wrestlers had been in discussion but were ultimately kept. The creative team had been told Wyatt was getting a protective of his character after poor creative decisions and ideas presented to him. However, members of the team did not talk to him directly and didn't know if this was hearsay. Another update which noted it was also due to budget cuts. It was noted that Wyatt did not ask for his release. John Laurinaitis, who called him to inform him of the decision, wasn't at TV as he is in the middle of moving to Connecticut. The reaction backstage has been one of shock, especially due to how big the Fiend was for merchandise in recent years. The character sold a lot of t-shirts and action figures. One source blamed WWE President Nick Khan and CFO Christina Salen, claiming the two are obsessed with the WWE not being in the red at all, even after the most financial quarter. It was said in the past, even while cutting costs, there would be more leniency. The relationship between Wyatt and Vince McMahon ran very hot and cold at points. And since McMahon is giving Khan more freedom than anyone else in the history to run things, there likely wasn't much pushback over cutting Wyatt.
Yeah, that's still insane to me.
It's
just
insane.
because they say budget cut, budget cut, but it's like, dude, you're still paying Goldberg millions of dollars for fucking, 20 minutes a year of time. It's so dumb.
And speaking of Goldberg, he will be on Raw Monday night, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, I was reading online that, and I don't know if it'll actually happen or not, but it's in Chicago. And so they're saying basically, like, when Goldberg comes out, there's going to be a bunch of like CM Punk chants, and there's going to be a lot of like different AEW chants, like that, because people are just so pissed off about, the Bray Wyatt and the direction the company's been going for a little while. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see if any of that happens, and if they'll tune out a lot of that anyway, if possible. So, but it still be interesting.
So Wyatt's 90-day complete, no complete cause will run out the week before AEW Full Gear in November.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made this comment to Barbie yesterday, and I said, as soon as that news broke, I said, Tony Khan had better get on the fucking phone and been like, all right, what's it going to take?
Yeah.
I'll see you in 90 days.
Yeah.
I will give you the fucking moon and back. Fuck all these other guys. What do you want?
Yeah. That was pretty, the other thing that can't, obviously not as big a news, but, and not a current performer, but Jeff Jarrett no longer has ties with WWE either.
Yeah. And they said he's been gone since January.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So I was like, well, at first I was like, oh shit, is he mad? Is he mad about the podcast? Somebody mad about the podcast? But now, yeah, because that was in motion before the podcast. So
yeah, well, because I guess he went to Vince and said, I got some stuff going on, blah blah blah, and they split. And I didn't fucking know. I thought he was still there.
Yeah. Well, I thought he still had some connection,
Well, because think about it, they don't want anyone doing anything outside the WWE. So I was like, well, you guys on podcast with Conrad, and I was like, I didn't think anything of it. And then, well, because he doesn't work there.
Yep.
I didn't know, So,
yeah.
So
interesting.
Yeah. So we had a death match on live TV.
Yeah.
Live national TV.
Yeah. And we didn't like it.
We did not. And Domino's didn't like it either.
Oh, really?
So when Gage had the pizza cutter and they cut away to the picture-in-picture, they ran a Domino's ad, and Domino's was pissed.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
Domino's was pissed, and they said something about it, that they're gonna, maybe we'll reconsider, having our commercials on your show. And Pabst Blue Ribbon replies back, "Oh, we'll take your spot if you guys are dropping out."
Yeah.
So basically, the last Saturday we had Gage and Cardona in Atlantic City, and that was a fucking train wreck. That was a fucking bloody mess. Cardona, I think, is still bleeding, and it's Sunday, August 1st. So Gage goes from that to Charlotte and fights Jericho. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The first 5 minutes were rough.
Yeah.
Gage did not know what to do. Gage looked nervous because that was the most people he's ever been in front of in his entire life. Yeah. Probably the most people he's probably ever seen, unless he's gone to like sporting events. Okay. He was, it looked like he was a deer in the headlights. He was just, he did not know what to do. Okay. So Jericho must have been like, all right, dude, just chill out, relax. Yeah. As soon as they started doing all the fucking hardcore shit and smashing each other, that's when he got into his element, and that's when everything happened. Yeah. But however, things were not fine. That was unnecessary and not needed on national TV. Yeah.
Yes. I hated I hated so much of it. I hated the pizza cutter spot. I hated getting stabbed in the head with the broken line. Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I yeah, I mean, we were both watching. It was just like, it was bad. Like, I don't need any of that shit. Like, I get like there's blood sometimes. I don't need blood every week, and I don't need, I like it when there's blood that tells a story, like, or adds more drama. But I don't like blood and violence, like
Just cause.
yeah. I mean, totally yeah. I didn't like it. That's not what I'm into. So
No, that's not professional wrestling.
yeah,
It's not. I mean, yeah, people love that shit. Like, Busted Open. I listened to that Thursday morning, and they were all, Bully Ray was going crazy for it, and so was Dave LaGreca, the host. And I love this shit. And I'm just like,
yeah,
I was gonna call in and just be like, you guys are morons, but
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's not for me. Like, I don't.
yeah.
And the thing is now is we're gonna see this a lot more now, and it's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah.
You know, people are going to
Well,
get hurt, and it's not going to be good.
yeah. Well, and not even just the wrestlers, but look at all the backyard wrestling stuff that sprouted up after like ECW of people trying to like take it to the next level of what they were doing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like, like dumb kids that are going to get hurt, trying to do this shit. And
Yeah. Someone saw Dynamite on Wednesday night and probably already tried to put their friend through a pane of glass.
yeah.
Like, that was so unneeded. That was not
Yeah.
needed. The unprotected light tubes to the head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and then we go from Sean Spears with a chair to Nick Gage with a death match to Juventud Guerrera.
Yeah.
What a fucking letdown.
I know that. See, Nick Gage should have been like
The last one.
yeah, because it was going to be like, well, okay, you've beat all these other guys. Now it's like, now you're going to get what happened to him last time. But yeah, now you got Juventud, which, a lot of these people weren't alive when, Juventud and Jericho had their feud,
Yeah.
I mean, or they were real young.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah.
Again, Tony Khan, Booker of the Year, has no idea how to book.
Yeah.
Okay, if that was me, it would have been Spears 1, Hoovy 2,
Yeah.
somebody at 3, Gage at 4, and I would have swerved the shit out of everybody and had Gage beat him, and then done some fuckery at some. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that a deathmatch guy is going to lose to Chris Jericho.
Right.
The only reason John made a good point when I saw him, I think when did I see John? Wednesday. John made a good point. They took the belt off Gage, GCW, so the champion didn't drop the title on national TV.
Yeah.
So they gave it to Cardona at that show, so Gage didn't look weak at national TV fighting Jericho.
Yeah.
Which makes total perfect sense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't want your champion to lose to Jericho on national TV. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I didn't think of that beforehand, but when John said that to me, a light bulb went off and I went, man, you're 100% right. Like, that makes total sense now.
Well, that's why we were all so surprised when Cardona won.
Oh, fuck.
Everyone was surprised when Cardona won. So, that it makes total sense. So, yeah.
But, okay, and then Cardona goes on the radio and says, I'm never doing a death match again. Okay, so how are you going to lose the fucking title?
Yeah, right.
You wrestle in a death match company.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Yeah.
So what? You're going to walk out there and say, oh, here you go. I got you. I don't know. FTR and Santana Ortiz got cut short because Wheeler got cut on his hand. So that match would have probably been a lot better than what it was. Darby Allin calls out CM Punk and then goes on defense yesterday. Says, "Oh no, I didn't."
Yeah.
Hey, clearly you did.
Yeah.
And if I was Punk, I would stay as far away from that fucking little puke as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck off, Darby Allin. Yeah, you're not even on his level. Like, so no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. And, the other news was, Hangman's out of the pay-per-view, out of the title match on the pay-per-view. So.
Okay, well, I don't want to see anybody else. Unless it's a Bryan or it's a Punk.
Yeah.
And Omega comes out and says something, I don't know, on that Rampage show, August 20th, that they basically sold 17,000 tickets for, and Punk's not even on the fucking card.
Yeah.
Unless he comes out and says, no, nobody can beat me, blah, blah, blah. Cult of Personality hits. Punk comes out and says, I'm here, motherfucker, and I'm coming after you. And that's how the show ends. They go into Dynamite Wednesday with all that fucking push from Friday night, and it carries into the pay-per-view, and they have a banger of a match at the pay-per-view, and Punk walks away with the title and runs through the fucking crowd and takes the fuck off. It doesn't show up in AEW for like 6 fucking months. And they actually do it right.
Yeah, right.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah.
Because now, it's 2021, you can go on Twitter and fucking banter and fucking be a dick. And he can take pictures of the title at all these random fucking places and shows. And that's what they should fucking do. That's honest to God, that's what they should do.
Yeah.
But they won't.
Yeah. And it's a good company to do that too. With WWE, they restrict everything. In AEW, it's like they let people do a little bit more, So he could easily do something like that. Just just keep that title right in the fridge.
I mean, the wrestling world would be upside down if that actually happened.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But the issue is that I don't trust anybody to do it right in that company.
Yeah.
Because you got Cody, who's an EVP, Omega, and the Bucks, and they're all for themselves. So I can't see them putting Bryan and Punk over.
Yeah.
Because it's their company, more or less.
Yeah. Yeah. Which sucks, because when you listen to like all the old timers and stuff, they all say like the same thing, with the exception of like Hogan. It's like it's as good for you or better putting somebody else over. Like doing the work and putting the other guy over.
Yeah.
So, but that mindset, that mindset's like lost on a lot of these guys.
No, it's non-existent because they need to get themselves over and get their own shit over before they get into it. If you and I were in a wrestling company and you were the top heel and I was the top babyface, if I came to you and said, you're beating me tonight for the title and I'm going to fucking chase you for 6 months and we're going to make more money than we know what to fucking do with you, you're going to go, sign me up.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to go, that don't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
Because it's smart business. Because if you have a hot heel with a hot baby face, you can make a killing.
Yeah.
Then you got the heel, the champion, you got the baby face chasing him, and then bam. However, in this case, with Omega as your heel champion, it doesn't work.
Right.
They don't have a hot enough baby face to chase him, and Omega's not a hot enough heel.
Yeah. I mean, their hottest baby face is Hangman, and they're pulling him from the
right.
They pulled him from the match. So
I mean, the only reason Omega has any heat is because everyone hates fucking Don Callis so bad in the Young Bucks. Yeah. If Omega came out by himself, he'd get cheered.
Yeah, right.
But Omega comes out in Chicago, and then Punk comes out. That roof will blow off. But here's what I will say: if this is all swerve, and Punk doesn't show up, this looks bad for AEW. Super bad.
Yeah.
And if Bryan doesn't show up, that's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes the Juventud letdown look like fucking nothing. Yeah, because there's been so much goddamn hype the last few weeks of Punk and Bryan coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and they've all been like hinting shit. So it's like, if it's a swerve, people are gonna be bullshit.
But the issue is they're hinting more about Punk than they are Bryan.
Yeah.
Like They haven't dropped Bryan at all on TV. It's all Punk stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking too the other day. I was like, what if Bryan comes out? Does everyone still do the yes?
Well,
Like,
if they're smart, Bryan comes out to the final countdown by Europe. That was the Ring of Honor theme music. That's what he should come out to.
yeah.
And he's the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
And he comes out in his fucking robe on with his and he's got the American Dragon, that red maroon robe, and he's back to that maroon.
Yeah, I think if he does come back, that's the likely character we see.
For sure, it should be. Because that was, I mean, yes, he was good as Daniel Bryan, but that's when I discovered who he was, when he was the American Dragon.
Yeah.
When he was a Ring of Honor champion for over a year and fucking had these fucking killer matches with fucking everybody. 2006 WrestleMania weekend, he fought Lance Storm, and it was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. And it was for the Ring of Honor title, and it was in Chicago, and it was fantastic. So go out of your way to watch that. Yeah, that whole run, that Bryan run, then was so good. His matches with McGuinness, the hour draws with McGuinness. Oh my god, such good wrestling.
Yeah.
And then it took him 3 years to fucking sign him. So.
Yeah.
Because he's too small.
Well, because they don't watch any other wrestling.
No, and he's too small.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he was 6'8", he would have signed as soon as he left Shawn Michaels wrestling school in 01.
Yeah.
He would have.
How tall? Offhand.
Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
He's like our height.
Yep.
Like 5'11", 6 foot, I think. He's not very tall.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's just so crazy that how the landscape's changed of like what the wrestlers look like now. It used to all be like, 6'5" body guys, and now it's a bunch of 5'10" guys.
He's 5'10" and he just turned 40 in May.
Yeah.
So what? He's got how many good years left?
Good years? I mean, 3 or 4 good years.
And Punk will be 40, and Punk will be 43 in October.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And Wyatt just turned 34.
And Jericho's 50. So by the time you get to 50, things go to shit.
No, you just have death matches on national TV with Peter Carter. You beat The Rock and Stone Cold in one night, and then you're wrestling a deathmatch wrestler on national TV when you're 50 years old.
Yeah.
And
not good.
And I love Jericho.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just not. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But Nick Gage is back for GCW this weekend, though, in Los Angeles.
Okay, good.
He's fighting a woman in a death match.
I love wrestling and I hate wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just, I could I mean, we've talked about it 1,000 times, but the intergender matches, I'm okay with never watching another one again.
Yeah, I'm good.
So
yeah. So in local wrestling news, Anthony Green's back in Limitless.
Yeah.
Came back last night at the show in Yarmouth. Sold out, packed to the rafters.
Which is cool. Yeah, I'm glad he's back. I wish he was going to be at the Herman show we're going to, but I think he's in New York or something that night.
That's all right. Maybe he'll drive up instead.
Yeah, probably.
He'll no-show the New York show and come to Herman and hang out with us. Oh yeah, our tickets came in, by the way.
Oh, nice, nice. Did they go to the old address
Yeah.
or?
And they got forwarded to the house.
Cool. Okay, good.
So so it took forever
Yeah.
because the post office is fantastic. But
Yeah.
but I love how I get that informed mail every day now. I get to see what's coming.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
How long has that been the thing?
I don't know. Probably almost 2 years, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's not always
Accurate.
100% accurate. So like all day people get calls at the post office that say, well, I showed up today that, I was supposed to get this letter and it wasn't in here. How was it? And I was like, well, sometimes those scans pick up at different processing plants and not at Eastern Maine. So it's like, so yeah, people get like super upset about it, but it's like, yeah. So we have to always be like, yeah, it's cool service, but it's not quite 100% yet. So,
I just thought it was kind of neat. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Writing your email shows you what you get. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
So Friday night it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
And the best part is it's right in Herman, so it's not too far for either one of us. It's really close. It's really super close for me. So.
I mean, it's not that. It's not. I'll be in bed in 15 minutes after leaving the parking.
Oh yeah, and then and it's a small venue, so we'll get. Oh, speaking of wrestlers from Limitless, I saw Eric Johnson last night.
Oh really?
Yeah, in the parking lot of Seasons. He was getting into his minivan going home after leaving the poorhouse. As I was waiting for my wife and her friend to get out of the poorhouse.
Did you get his autograph or your picture?
I should have asked for it, but I didn't. I should have said, "Hey, electronics for sale." I did.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's coming towards me, and I'm like, oh man, it's Eric Johnson. I was like, oh man, my hero. And I didn't say hi.
I saw he's changed his name a bunch of times, but I saw Big Mox. The guy that he was fighting, like another like Eric Johnson size guy.
Okay, yeah.
That he used to fight or wrestle like I saw him like in traffic, and I was like, oh, it's Big Mox. What's he doing? Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, he hasn't wrestled in a while, but yeah, him and Eric had a great feud for a little while there.
Ooh.
And by great, I mean bad. So
great feud. I'm looking for it. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah, so Herman will be fun. I mean, it's going to be very small in there. I don't know what it's going to be.
Did it sell out? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither.
General admission, so I mean, we'll basically be able to sit wherever.
Yeah,
wherever. I imagine it's going to be. It's probably going to be. I don't know if they're going to set up upstairs. We can go up on the balcony. I don't know if they're going to have.
It'd be kind of cool to sit up in the balcony.
Yeah, I mean, I think John's supposed to go. If he doesn't play in the golf tournament, he's going to come. Yeah. So I think Adam's going too. So
yeah, I think he's ring boying it again. So
he's ring boying again.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in a while. It'd be nice to catch up with him.
He's doing good.
So I bought Big John stud.
Yep.
Target. I made him open the box for me and took it out. So
yeah.
Because it said it was on. They said they had it in the store, and I went there and it wasn't on the shelf. So I found the box. Said, hey, open this one so I can buy one of these, please.
Yeah. Was the box like just in like the overhead or whatever?
No, it was in a cart. And it said Legends Big John stud. There was like 6 of them in the box. And I'm like, Jesus, there's nobody else. No, all stud. So I bought stud and went to ring it in, and it said item not found. So you call somebody over, they just scan it in for me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Did you do the joke where it was like, guess it's free?
No, I didn't do that one.
No. That was my favorite. Like, I worked at a grocery store, and every time someone would ring up something that wasn't on file, they'd be like, oh, I guess it's free.
Sure.
It's like, yeah, no. Hey, price check.
On Vagicream, aisle 5.
Yeah.
So I got stud. Trying to find the other three for that set is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Bam Bam is going for over $100 a piece right now by himself.
How much is Macho going for?
Fucking, I saw it today. It's a 65 on eBay right now.
Fuck. Yeah.
And I want Bam Bam because he got the ECW television title above his head.
Yeah.
And the Scott Hall one's actually Scott Hall. Like, it's not Razor, it's Scott Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real good series.
Oh, it's great. And then the next one is Piper, Junkyard Dog, Kevin Nash, and Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
And JYD's got his chain, which I didn't think they could put out, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But because that's, more or less racist. So
yeah.
But
which Piper is it? Is it the
Nope, it's not that one. I just seriously want to buy that figure and just have it, but I can't find it anywhere. So,
yeah.
if I buy that, does that make me a racist?
No, it makes you a collector. If you were to, I mean, if you were to act out that character,
I'll do my Halloween costume.
Then maybe, but if you just get the figure, no, it's as a collector, it's short run and it's pretty valuable. So
if I go to Florida, I want to go find that super collector Gabby that Zack Ryder has on his show. See if I can go buy something from him.
Yeah.
So speaking of, we got a couple minutes left before we gotta go, but COVID's back.
Yeah, and better than ever.
So apparently this new variant spreads like the chicken pox.
Yeah.
And even the vaccinated people can catch it.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing about, like, if you're vaccinated is, like, it basically, if you get it, it feels like kind of like a head cold, they're saying. Basically. It doesn't really.
Basically, they have no fucking idea.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's kind of, the vaccination number, we're averaging I think a little over 1,800 new vaccinations a day in Maine. And I think it was yesterday or the day before it jumped up to 6,800. So more people are like, yeah, oh shit, let's do this. And now more companies are making it mandatory for all, Walmart just came out, made it mandatory.
Disney too.
Disney, yeah. And
a hospital in Millinocket said, but it has to be approved by the FDA first.
And that's what a lot of these places are doing. Wait until it, a lot of the schools, they're making it mandatory, but mandatory after it's FDA approved. So,
but think about this for a second though. They didn't make the flu shot FDA approved till 2015.
Yeah,
and the flu shot was around for how long before that?
Right. So it's I don't know. I haven't heard a timetable on when it's actually going to be approved, but
no, me either. And it's just
yeah,
more shit.
Yeah.
But let me see if I could find what our president said, which I thought was hysterical. Let me pull it up here. I have it. I sent it to my wife. Joe Biden on Twitter on Friday. The vaccine was developed and authorized under a Republican administration and has been distributed and administered under a Democratic one. Vaccines are safe, they are highly effective, and there's nothing political about them.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck off. Okay, this is all political driven. Let's be real. Okay, again, like you said, press conferences that athletes give when they tell the truth is great. I wish politicians would follow suit.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's I wish that they were all hooked up to lie detectors every time, so you could just see shit go crazy, But yeah, but we'll never see that.
No, we're never. No.
But what you've seen. So now it's a lot Hannity, some of the other Republican governors, because they're realizing that a lot of these people that aren't getting vaccinated, are pretty much like all Republicans at this point. So they're like, all these people are dying, and they're like, yeah, we need these people to be alive to vote for us. So
Well,
can maybe some of you step up and get this? So.
Well, when you're bringing in hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants every day,
yeah,
and then flying them over and dropping them in the different cities,
yeah,
unvaccinated, have COVID, some just for votes.
Yeah.
Where's my handout?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's my free stuff? How come I'm not getting it free? Why is
Yeah.
everything more expensive for me now?
Yeah.
How come everything's going up and my salary stays the same?
Yeah.
Why am I getting fucked in the ass and not enjoying myself?
Yeah.
Huh. Why am I a semi-intelligent white person that gets nothing, but a non-intelligent black person gets everything?
Wow. A lot of it has to do with there's 8 people in the United States that have more money than 40 million other Americans, and there's who don't pay any taxes and all that, So it's, I mean, it's as much as the rich people's fault as it is the poor people's fault. It's just we're trained to blame the poor people, but
right, we are. I'll throw out this crazy stat before we go.
Yeah.
Did you see LeBron James's crazy stat?
No.
He is the first NBA player to make $1 billion in his career. Playing basketball.
Like that's his salary?
Yes.
Just as
yes.
Holy fuck.
Yes. Jordan made that selling shoes, not playing basketball.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that was always the funny thing was I remember, I can't remember how long ago now, but Jordan, was the highest paid player and he made X amount of dollars. Like, I don't think it was this high, but let's say it was $25 million. And, but he made 40 million in endorsements like that same year. Right. It's like, yeah. I mean, Jordan now is like just printing money with all his shoes and shit.
Right.
That fucking logo, man.
Dude, that logo was the greatest thing in the world.
Yep.
And when Steve Austin was making $1 million a month and selling Austin 316 t-shirts back in 97, 98, 99, all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's not a billion, but you're making $1 million a month on t-shirts.
Yeah.
By my calculations, that's like $12 million a year just in shirts.
Yeah. Yep.
If my Brewer High School math has me wrong, I apologize, but I think that's pretty much accurate.
Yeah. Well, and it's great, because actually, before I fell asleep last night, A&E reran the, or one of the other channels ran the A&E biography they did on him. And just that time, he was like, for his birthday, getting his mom to send him $40 because he had no, it's so insane. Like he talked about how poor he was. And so it's like, it's so cool to see like him go from nothing and just like sticking with it, working his ass off, and then
boom,
coming out, cutting that promo that changed everything. Made him rich for life. So
yeah,
that's how you got to do it, people. Create one awesome thing and you're set for life.
So I need to cut a promo then, and then it'll go viral, and then I'll be rich.
Yeah. Rapp 316 says.
I just fucked your wife.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So we're out of here. So I think next week we'll do a top 10 or a top 5 or whatever. We'll figure it out. But we should do a top 10 like Punk matches, and then we'll do a top 10 Bryan matches the following week, just to kind of gear up for things that we think are going to happen.
Yeah. And if not, who cares? We like both those guys anyway. So
True. And then so real quick, this week we have Cody and Malachi Black on Dynamite. Let's just fucking hot shot that to fucking TV, huh?
Yeah.
Over under Cody bleeds.
Oh, yeah, he bleeds.
Okay.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Really? You think multiple times?
I don't know. We'll see.
Over under.
I mean, when Malachi Black starts stabbing him with the broken light tubes, I'm sure he'll start bleeding.
No, Cody won't bleed because Cody's inferior.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cody don't bleed.
No.
Well, kind of.
He's the son of a plumber.
Yes, he is. Who bled every time.
Yeah.
Maybe Malachi should wear out the Road Warrior spikes and then take a spike off and spike Cody in the eye. Even more heat.
Yeah.
Take his
through a flaming table of glass.
Yeah. Yeah, they should poke him in the eye with this and then get him thrown off TV, and then they'll send him back to the WWE for a year.
Yeah.
And then they'll put him in polka dots.
Yeah.
And then he can actually be the American Dream because the WWE owns it, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And then we can go crazy when his figure comes out in polka dots.
Yeah.
I'm such a dick.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, we're out of here. This was it. This was the weekly wrap, and peace out.